Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would call back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit Teaches Going with Itself, on TikTok, 1974 Nightfall, and I'm also live on my Facebook if you're on there. I always recommend, suggest, and I really encourage people to read the description on my YouTube channel to get a better understanding of what it is that I bring forward on my channel. Some are aware that I bring a lot of my own life experiences, bring a lot of like different parts of politics or medical or educational or what have you. It's just a whole lot of, wherever spirit takes me. I speak and sign, like you'll see the movement of energy through language and signing, uh, telepathy, and I channel an empath and a psychic, and I'm coming into for my gifts. So if nobody's writing and I respond to somebody, it's because I heard their book when I said something. Now, what brought me to doing this today, just coming on live, is because I was sitting and I was at the hospital yesterday, okay? And I was at the, like, up around the maternity ward. And it was in the room where they take the women to do the monitoring and stuff like that, where they have them like through the progression of the labor. Now, to me, a hospital is a place of healing, but whenever I go into a hospital, I feel worse than what I did when I first went in. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, which I know there's many that do, because I've had many people say that, oh yeah, you do. You feel worse than when you first went in. Well, it's because there's a lot of frequencies around. There's a lot of lingering energies and spirits and what have you. But the biggest thing, okay, is you go in and it's just like it's quiet, but it's nothing. You go in the rooms, it's just bland. There's nothing. Okay, there's nothing to help someone to heal. Okay, it's just you get put on an IV or you get given medication and you get a fucking shitty bed. Because in the maternity ward, okay, you think of it this way: a pregnant woman is not small, correct? Am I correct? A pregnant woman is usually not small. But the beds that they put you in, you're already uncomfortable. But they put you on a fucking gurney. The things that it's exactly the same as what the ambulance use. They expect you to be able to turn around comfortably, to be able to get comfortable. You're in fucking labor, or you're having contractions, and you're in a bed that's about this fucking wide. Seriously. It's about that fucking wide. I'm not a big person. I fit there. So can you imagine a bigger woman, and not only just a bigger woman, but a bigger pregnant woman? I know that this person is not fucking comfortable, and you're supposed to be making the people comfortable. How are you getting comfortable on that? You're not. People say, "Oh well, they don't have the money to do that." Well, you know what? I'll tell you right now. If they did hospitals properly, because you cram everything all into one place. Okay. You have your maternity ward, you have your psychiatric unit, which neither of them should actually be in that sort of setting. People say, oh, well, it's money. Yeah, you're fucking right. It's money for them, right? Not the people in there, because it's extremely uncomfortable. Whether you're a pregnant woman or not. when you go into a hospital, they're to make you feel comfortable. And the way they make you feel comfortable is here, I'm going to stick a needle in your arm and I'm going to dope you up. That's how we're going to make you feel comfortable. You know, instead of making the environment comfortable and relaxing, you'd rather give them a fucking needle and say, here, we're going to dope you up. Yes, I heard that about pain. But this person, instead of staying at the hospital where they could be monitored, they wanted to go home and sleep around it. So, in all honesty, what was wrong with having, you know, midwives? Okay, have a midwife. There should be an actual hospital place where it's for just pregnant women in labor. There should be psychiatric units should not be in the hospital because most of those people in the psychiatric unit, they're connecting with the spirits. So all you're doing is making, in some ways, you're making it worse for them. I was in a psychiatric unit and there was nothing in there to do. Here, go play some cards. Here, go color like a child. And I know people like coloring, I like coloring too, but you know, it's really boring. There's no healing to it. Yesterday we were walking by the place where the psychiatric unit where you got to go out. You're all blocked in by a fucking building. It's a little area. It's got a few trees and a bench back there. But there's nothing to see except for fucking walls. So it's no, I mean, you got the plants, you got a couple little bushes. A little bit of fresh air. But it's the same. You're fucking caged. You shouldn't be caged in a psychiatric unit, but they cage you. Modern hospitals, I will admit, are a piece of shit because it's all for profit. There's nothing in it really for patients to say about all how expensive the equipment is. Well, I'm being honest, the monitor that I seen yesterday, monitor a baby, they kept saying, oh, well, it keeps going out because the baby keeps moving. Seriously? It keeps going out because the baby keeps moving. How much is the baby actually moving? Might be stirring a little bit. But this was ancient technology. And I know that there's better stuff out there. It was like it was this ball thing that they took and put on the person's belly, on the woman's belly. It was a ball thing like that. And I mean, I know it would be it would be totally unfucking comfortable because then they take this, it's like, how can I explain it? Think of the strap that they use, the elastic strap that they use on maybe a cup when you're holding it around your waist. That's what it was. Two of those, and you had to flip it and clip it. They had to keep moving it, and then say, "Oh, the baby's moving. The baby's just moving. He's moving too much." Are people that daft and ignorant to realizing and asking Hey, why are we still back in using technology that would be back that you would see in the 60s? When I was pregnant at 15, they didn't have that. That wasn't what they used to hook up to me. I can't actually exactly remember, but I know that it wasn't that. It wasn't some big bulky fucking thing, and it left a circle it left an indent on the woman. And they're taking the strap and they're pulling it like this, so it's cutting into the body too. Like, fuck, are you helping the person or are you fucking there to torture the person? I know one woman, she went in for her first dating, and they damn near killed both of them. I think it was about an hour to 2 hours they had her pushing. And the baby wasn't moving. The baby's rate was going down, her rate was going down. And a friend of mine, somebody I knew, they heard about what happened at the hospital with her delivery. So should maternity wards be in a hospital? Fuck no. A maternity ward should have its own and be exactly like what is it? A midwife. Midwives knew what they were doing. Okay. You have the machines there, yes, of course, because you're monitoring things, but not ancient machines that make like things that make the person more uncomfortable. Beds could be way more comfortable. They don't want you staying in the hospital. Okay, I understand that, but if you need to be there and you call it a place of healing, shouldn't it be comfortable for the patient? Like the sheets that you put on those beds, they're fucking horrible. They're itchy. They're irritating. They should be like putting grounding sheets. They used linen. Linen was the healing. Linen had healing properties to it, but they got rid of those. Why did they get rid of the linen sheets? Oh, because it's cheaper. Cheaper is not better. Cheaper does not last longer. Did you ever see the state of their sheets? Somebody didn't like what I'm saying right now. Fucking bad for you. You must be the one in charge of ordering. See, they privatize everything, and when they privatize everything, everything goes cheap. It's not for the people. See, why is your government giving to private corporations when it should be staying with the people and the people benefiting, not your private corporation, because it's all about this. We'll make it as cheap as fucking possible because we don't care about the people. We just care about the fucking money. I avoid hospitals at all costs. People are going in there and using your Wi-Fi, everything like that, which is actually creating more frequency interference. And they say, it doesn't, it may not create what you say as interference with machines, but it creates an interference in human bodies. And how do I know that? Because I experience it. And I know others do. They're just not aware of it. And, somebody just come in and, look what I got to say. Well, you know where the entry is. You can go back out the same way you came. Just click on or hit the back button and click on. See, when you have somebody going to the hospital and they need to be there, you should be making it should be made as clean as possible. In the psychiatric unit, when I was in there, each time, you know what you had to do? They closed the kitchen. The kitchen would be open for about an hour, 2 hours maybe. They close the kitchen and lock it. And if you wanted water, you had to go to the front desk and ask for water. Is that humane? Is that healing? You're paying the government, and then the government, some of them, they're affiliated with the private corporations. So, they're making a profit for themselves and they don't get these fucking shits. I heard that, some of the hospitals in the States were going to shut down because of like what was going on up there. Is it true? I see a lot of it put up here. People even going live and saying about what they're experiencing up there, or sorry, down there. Because if you look on the map, it's down. But I go in a hospital and I see, like, they say about a doctor shortage. So you're sent to the emergency. I'll say it. Should there really be family doctors, or should they all be walk-in clinics where everyone has access to a doctor? Seriously. How fucked up and backwards do you think that is? Now walk-in clinics are even like they're saying you can't. A lot of walk-in clinics are shutting down, or you can't get in there, or walk-in clinic, and then some of them, what you got to call the day before. Well, that's not a walk-in clinic. Walk-in means you walk in the door. People believe I need a family doctor. I need a family doctor so they have know all about me. You really think they know all about you? Seriously. Some places in small little royal areas. But if you think about all the patients that these doctors have and what have you, they give you a prescription and they're supposed to know if it's going to counteract with another prescription. They're supposed to let you know all the information with regards to that prescription and what they're giving it to you for and why. How many people has really gone to the doctor and not almost every time you were given a prescription, even for a cold? How does that make sense? It's like I'm getting like, are you that much of you got a cold? Oh, oh, honey, give me this. Son, give me that. I gotta go. I gotta go to the pharmacy. I gotta give me some cough medicine. Grab some fucking tea and put a bit of honey in it. Do you know the reason why you fucking run to get that shit is because you're addicted to it? And no, I'm not. Oh, yeah, you are. It has alcohol in it. It has other addictive substance in it. Didn't like me saying that? You must be part of Big Pharma, huh? It might affect your pocketbook. Grisita turito mo niya? When I went in there yesterday and I seen the room that she had to move around, which was virtually nothing. Your pillows are that fucking thin. Tiny, and I still wouldn't have even been able to get fucking comfortable on that bed. You know how hard it is for a pregnant woman to lay in a bed like that and have to pretty much lay like this with their legs closed and the kid is fucking pushing out their goddamn vagina? And you know, love and light, go fuck yourself about the love and light shit. You're in fucking denial if you think and love and light, love and light, love and light. Not everybody's going through love and light right now. You're probably one of the ones that wouldn't say shit if you had a fucking mouthful if somebody was walking all over you. Oh, oh, I'm on line. I better step back in. Oh, I'm not following the fucking arrows. Better not ask questions because, you know, they might get irritated with you. Like when I took my ex husband to the dentist and I started questioning him, that's exactly what he did. He put his hand up and kicked me out of the room. What? Because I wasn't listening to you telling me that his fake teeth that you put in his mouth that he paid 55 fucking $1,000 for wasn't right. And see, the thing is that dentist actually, that whatever the fuck he is, he actually tricked him because he didn't show him the teeth before he put them in his fucking mouth. And we went there. When we went there, she said, "Oh, we're here. We're coming back to fill them in today." Fill them in would have meant that they were putting them together and he was accepting them. That's another medical office. You know, you don't make anything comfortable for people, but you take fucking shit piles of money and then you got to make the facade. You know, law offices, you'll put a bunch of money into paying for legal fees and all this shit. And then what do they do with the money? They go reface the whole fucking structure of it. Got to have that curb appeal, right? The curb appeal is more important than the people. The money is more important than the people. The reputation is more important than the people. Go rate your dog. So if you actually did stuff to help the patients heal, then you wouldn't have to be making hospitals bigger. They laugh at people because I got to run to the hospital. I'm going to sit there for 12 fucking hours because I have a little pain in my ass. Everybody during COVID went running to the hospital. I know one person that they didn't believe in COVID. Didn't believe in COVID, but yet they would take that thing and shove it up their fucking nose and say, "Oh, I got COVID." Better run to the hospital. Why don't you leave that for the people who really fucking need it? Hospitals are run. There's no real organization to it whatsoever. They can say there is, but all you have to do is fucking look around and see that there's none. The maternity ward, you gotta go 2 stories up. So you make the pregnant women go further than the healthy, able bodies who are just going to get a test. Well, it's fucked up if you ask me. My opinionated? Yep. Good. Somebody needs to be to help you make sense of what just ain't working. But you'll want to stay in the matrix because you're comfortable. How comfortable are you? I was when I was in sleeping in those fucking beds. Like holy shit! I heard more sleeping in the hospital than I did at home. They want to make me go home and die. Don't make the patient comfortable. God forbid you do that. And I'm talking about the God that some people look up to with regards to creating ignorance. What has your hospitals in the state they are? What has things working the way it is? I look up to spirit. And when I look up to spirit, spirit tells me what's right from wrong. Because I see it in everyone. I see I'm very observant. I'm constantly, even if I don't appear to be, spirit is. And maternity wards should be a whole other building, and it should not be in a hospital setting. It should be in like a place where those mothers are able to get outside if they have to stand outside. Not having to go to an elevator or walk past a bunch of sick people. You're in there having a baby and put a maternity ward in a hospital with sick people. That's a little fucked up, ain't it? It's like you're going to a fucking jail cell and you go for mental health and it puts you in psychological. But the door, like what you have to go through in order to get in. You're locked in. And then you have to wait a few days before you can get a pass, which are only there because you're depressed. Seriously. Get Gabriel. I can feel the ones in the room, and you got to stay with me. Bring it. Get us to the only reason why you got to stay for me is because you know it's true. She said, your own said, I live a hole in my comfy bed. But yet they were telling her before they wanted her on bed rest, and they wanted her to stay in hospital. Unless she does have other children, but I imagine you'd have to figure it a way because if the woman needs to be in hospital, then I guess family needs to pick up the slack because that's what family does. They don't rip each other off. They don't scam each other, and they don't pose to be family oriented because they're looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend. See, I had people tell me because I was like, literally, it was coming from here and it was burning all the way up, and I was like bringing up clear fluid that I could blow a fucking bubble, and I'm talking a bubble like that. I got made to walk to the ambulance in the state that I was in. It's like you're not doing your fucking job. You don't even like your job, and you take it out on the people. Seriously, why are you doing it? We're supposed to be in 2025, and we're still living like we're in fucking ancient times. Just because you have these gadgets that look high tech, they ain't fucking high tech at all. because true high tech is simple. But everyone's afraid they're going to lose their job. So don't bring out the good stuff. Keep people suffering. Bring out the med beds and make them available to everyone. Quit waiting on it. Some people didn't like that because they felt it right in the pit of right in there. That ain't real. You're fucking right it's real. They're just telling you it's not because they're fucking coordinate for themselves. Why the fuck do you think they're looking younger? Are they clones? When you heal, you start to you're younger as you heal because age is caused from stress, anxiety, depression, which you perceive to be mental health issues, which are actually the spiritual growth that's been blocked because they tell you that it's mental. It becomes mental. You're forced to live in a mental cage of staying in one place. Don't like that? You must be part of the system or the system itself. Everyone has purpose. And a lot of people have already been starting moving forward with their purpose. But when you look at the state of what is supposed to be healing places, how many of you have been in an MRI? Okay. How many of you have been told by a hearing aid doctor or specialist or what have you tell you that loud noises cause damage to your hearing? Go into an MRI machine and what do you hear? Bang, 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 bang. You go into some work environments and all you hear is noise. Do you not realize that they're doing it on purpose? I'll tell you right now, when Nikola Tesla created the stuff to bring about MRI, CT scans, X-rays, PET scans, all that shit, do you think he had it in mind for you to hear the fucking banging and clanging and booting and banging and clanging? He couldn't stand fucking noise. That's why for hours, he'd sit in this little domain, listening to Mozart, things like that. And why? Because it was calming and cleared his mood. It wasn't a noise, it was music. And it wasn't this like I say, satanic shit where they're saying about raping women and beating children and everything like that on your fucking music. Then you wonder why your kids are suicidal. You wonder why the hospitals are packed full of people. Seriously. Get the maternity wards the fuck out of the hospital setting. You know, the first thing they ask you what if you want something for pain is morphine. Morphine is an addictive substance. You know, they're injecting it in you and it's going into your baby. No, actually, when I had my two children and when I was 15, I had an 8-pound, 15-ounce kid. And I was 15 and all I had was fucking laughing gas. And then for my second child, same thing. You ain't fucking injected. The laughing gas would go more to the mind where the pain sensory would. It would make you a little drowsy to relax you. It affected you more than it would affect me. But I'm wrong because you're the kind of people that say, oh, well, you need Demerol. No, you need a more relaxed setting. You need relaxation during fucking birth. Not a fucking needle. A place where people can have different forms of birth if they so desire. Something that may make things easier. But no, gotta plop everybody on a fucking bed and say, hey, you're here. We'll give you a needle to take away the pain. Right now, yes, some people do need it. And I understand that. But I'm telling you that there's other ways of doing it, but your mainstream medical system don't want that. Because big pharma might go out of business. Yeah. You see that would annoy you? You must work with big pharma or work for big pharma, or you might be or you might be addict, or you're so far in the matrix that you can't see your head from your ass because it's so fucking connected like a snake to its head. That's the snake. The matrix is the serpent. Take it in the air. See if you said icicle. Deep? You ain't seen deep. It's like, do you know how angry the beast actually fucking is? Because the beast could actually tear this world apart. And it does it to the people. Do you want to get your beast under control? Don't say shit to somebody else who can actually talk about it and does something to do it. And calls out the shadows and the darkest parts of it. And your medical system is a big integral part of it. Hospital settings, their offices. It's not inviting at all. It's not calming. What is the hospital over the speaker? Putting on a calming frequency. Seriously. Give the people a little relaxation. There's no need of people waiting like they did, like they need to wait. There are some people that are even fucking dying in the hospital, and you're saying you're revamping the hospital? Why don't you give the people working there incentives? And then maybe you wouldn't have as many people because people would be trained properly. Yeah, nurses in there, like they know how to do Reiki, so it helps to alleviate pain, and you use less medication. You have less people coming in addicted, less people coming in because of the medication they're taking. They're having side effects, and they don't know that it's because of the medication they're taking. So they're running to the doctor or to an emergency. Everything with blood, right? For some, they're made like for some certain certain drugs work for certain things because you say you don't have the technology there to do it otherwise. And it's not about fucking sticking a chip in someone's body. Oh, a stick a chip in the body, they make them walk again. Well, they're walking because I heard somebody say they're walking because of the chip. Well, how about you just demand that your government and the elite fucking give you the technology that is rightfully yours, and med beds are them. Then you don't have long stays. You could even have one in your fucking home. You say, "Oh, nobody could die then." I have to ask, why do people have to die? They say because it's a simple life. A lot of people talk about Noah. Noah was 960 years old or something like that before he died. Seriously, you're biblical scholar, you know that, and you think we're not supposed to? What happened there? Seriously, how did Noah live to 990 years? You say more disease or something like that. Where do you think that Nikola Tesla was able to obtain that information to tell you about free energy? Seriously. Same thing with him. He kept telling you certain things, but he was classed as a madman, and that his they used a horse as a demonstration of how Tesla's uh, free energy thing for electricity and everything. Thomas Edison tried a horse, and it had nothing to do with Tesla's technology. It was shit. Thomas Edison's shit himself. You know, healthcare is a necessity, and healthcare should be free. And it's not about having to. Somebody didn't like that. Too fucking bad for you. What does it keep you from making profit? I think the tax dollars that you pay pays enough and then some. But you could have the appropriate technology and it would alleviate a lot of your hospital settings, your trips to a hospital. And I'm not talking about so much as visiting a doctor on here, but learning how to do things yourself. Because that's what the people that come here that are doing stuff, you're doing card readings and channelings and what have you. You're not supposed to be hoarding it for yourself and asking for money for it. You're supposed to be teaching others how to do it for themselves. And some don't like that. It's too bad. You know, Instead of always offering readings, how about you offer teachings? And if you're doing healing, don't ask for your team to go in and heal that other person. Ask for their team to help them heal and teach them how to connect with their own guides and team, as you want to call it. I'd actually like to see the different ways that people give birth if they're not giving birth in the hospital. I watched the news or on the TikTok video here last week, or the beginning of one or two, and it gave birth right in front of the office window. So my question is, like, if a moose can give birth, or animals can give birth to their young and do it themselves, why is it that humans, same reproductive system, works the same? It's like, didn't like that, huh? It's a good question, but they'll try and shut me down for saying it because it makes sense. And they actually want to say about common sense, but they don't like common sense because they don't even know common sense themselves. Or they know that they know, but they don't want you to. Honestly, you just say, "Oh, well, more people and more babies died then." Do you know whether for sure how many babies died? If you took the ratio of the population then, and you took the ratio of the population now, would it be any fucking different? Seriously. But see, that would be the common sense aspect of that would be the common sense. But they've wiped common sense out of your mind. We have a common sense motto, or whatever you have to say it, motto. have a common sense model, and they don't even really speak common sense. And they say actions speak louder than words. See, I've even spoke up to doctors, and not in a polite way either. Because the thing is, I'm going to be just as thankful to you as you are to me, and mine might come off a little harsh. There shouldn't be big, huge hospitals. There should be hospitals every so far. That way, each person in the community can work at that hospital. That's when you actually know each other. Not as many people going in at a time, more accessible, not as long waits, and there'd be less pill pushing and more holistic healing. You have to do that transfer. You can't just take an addicted person and think that it's going to be able to, that the person is going to be able to go automatically holistic. You gotta, it's like they say weaning them over onto another drug. Well, this is another drug, but it's not toxic to the body. Just a big fun. Yeah, I am. But I appreciate it. I'll make you laugh, make you cry, I'll appreciate it. Sometimes I might get my head, be angry, but hey, my channel is Spirit to Spirit, so I'm talking to those spirits. And if you're experiencing anything from it, well, I guess you must be connected to that spirit. It's part of you. Same as people thinking that, people have to die. Ever, like once upon a time, it was a life for a life. In order for that person to become young again, they had to take the life of another. Or in order for that person to have wealth or what have you, they had to take the life of another. I looked at Charlie Kirk and I found his wife. And I was a videotape thing, and looking at the picture, she has more bracelets on than I do, and there's crystals and everything on them. And she has a necklace on, and it has this hand on it, a hand like much like this, with the all-seeing eye. This is the triangle with the all-seeing eye, but with the all-seeing eye. And she had a book in her hand, but it looked nothing like a Bible, and she was preaching. And on the Bible, it had it had The number four here. Que c'est la montagne. Que la chapelle. Elle a Oh, get back there. Just, I appreciate you bearing with me for a minute. Because I have to really laugh at people, okay? Because Donald Trump said about a witch hunt. He said that at the beginning of when he was campaigning. Okay. And yes, I am, because the medical system is the governmental system, part of it. And Donald Trump just fucked Medicare. See, they tell us that, if we use crystals and we say we're psychic and stuff like that, that we're dark, we're witches, evil, and see, do you know that at hospitals, it's almost like the way things are laid out, there's no feng shui to it whatsoever. So if there's no feng shui to it, then you're going to have one frig of a clusterfuck. Like, you can walk in certain houses and it's just like blood. And you're kind of just like, other houses, you walk in, it's like, whoa. I've had people come into my home and say about, like, they can feel the energy in the house, in my place. And it's like, yeah, because you create the feng shui, you create the balance in your home. The same as with regards to hospital settings. They're too fucking big. And it's taken up like a whole piles of space. When, like, I mean, if you did, that's the same as schools, okay? Because classrooms, in all honesty, they're they're too big in size, and that's why teachers can't do their job. And I mean, they're going to be taught to properly teach it. But that's what you're looking at. That's why the structure of it, holy fuck, it was built to be wrong. It was right at one point, and then somebody went off by a smidgen and was told that they went off by a smidgen, and they got pissed off because they were told they went off by a smidgen. Just like same as a billing, I know that to some people that didn't make sense. Well, that's on you because it was perfect. If you're in a math equation, you're one off. Figure out that math equation properly, or are you going to just not worry about that one out because that one out? Fuck. This is his wife. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Well, shit. That was P. Diddy and Samuel Ball. Yeah, I ain't getting into that. I've done a video about that. I'll do it one another time. But you see, it's on the book. Okay, you see there. Let's keep going. Here's the book closer. Okay, so on that book, see, oh shit, her bracelets and then the hand. But he's against this stuff. Now, in that book, it said the number 48. Okay. Well, I looked up the significance of 48. Number 48 symbolizes 48 meaning and numerology. Represented the spiritual man uniting himself to the divine power 8. And 8 represents balance. The word queen is used 48 times in the Bible, 44 times in the OT. I follow those things. And that book to me, what she had, because it was big. To me, that looked more like it was the astrological numerology, but it was more of the mystic arts. Much like, well, I don't know because I've never heard her talk whether or not she was speaking from the Bible or whether she was speaking from this because it didn't have the volume on it. And her husband agrees, this is for Golden Earth, agrees that with all the things that comes to him. The hospital to me, it's a very dark place. I don't feel healing when I walk into a place. All I feel is like pain, suffering, and it's supposed to be a place of healing. When my mom passed, they put her in the hospital. They took her oxygen filter and just drove her up her house. The environment itself got on the head. If your family members stay at home, a lot of time they will, but every hospital needs to be clean. And I'm talking smaller hospitals, not these big fucking mega. Do you get it yet? Giants. You know, you call your big superstores and shit like that. They're giants. People talk about the Nephilim. Yeah, don't worry about it. I drew a picture and I had the giants over top of the earth. And I had the cogs. I know they were cogs because like it looked like a rooster. I had the well, maybe it was like the chickens. Cogs were chickens. More, I believe, cogs because there was one on each side of the church. And one day I went out and I looked at a church and it was just like what I looked at when I did my book. And I did my drawing back into it. Yeah, I do. Spirit just showed me where it was. Like, yeah, just sit for a second and just take yourself there. You can find it. Kasi namututalik yan. Ulitan. I was about to say, like, I was about to say, fuck it and that. Because I couldn't find it, and Spirit was just like, no, just like, because I was getting, like, no, just hang on, it's there. I picked up the next file, and Spirit took me right to it. Okay. World in chaos. Chaos. Does anybody remember if you're like if you seen one where sometimes I talk about images like the vision I have and it looks like the person is still alive or like I could see the inside of the almost looked burnt too. So it was like holy shit. If you look at that, that was about the image that I seen. The eyes, because that's what we look with right now. Okay. And it's the part see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. First, the giant, the church, cogs, and there's two trees beside it. You have the chimney, and had the chimney for everything that's from behind. Because the chimney, or a penis, is going through the chimney. There's the chimney. It's going right along here. But the giants, and then there's the aliens, the extras up there. Old souls, the humans, the ants, ant people, weeds. Then the hearts represent the crown. And then there's, I think it's like 13 hearts. 9, 10. There's 11 hearts. And this here, now I know what that is. Up here, see how it's different from the face? That represented the scalping of my 7th boyfriend. So that's how I know who has the forces. You know, I was in the hall. I was in the psychiatric. I guess second time. But this week, the second time. I was laying in my bed and I woke up. It was like I woke up in the middle of the night, and my room was filled with smoke. But I couldn't really smell it. And I got up, and it was like, and I went out and I told the nurses station, oh, well, that was the smoke coming from over in the stacks. Well, the stacks were on the other side of the hospital. So it's like, do you think, like, people, are you gassing people? Because, you know, you close your door at night and they can lock the door at any time. We're far from feeble minded. They stick us in these hospitals. They poke you full of needles. They take your blood, dope you up, and say, here's the prescription. Come back in a week and we'll get you more. That's, I know some people say, well, I like being doped up. Then, you know, maybe that's why you're complaining about your medical system. Maybe they shouldn't be giving you those drugs anymore. You're being doped up because you feel the pain of it. All it was just covering up, masking. They don't even have an appropriate place for detoxing. Same thing, they put you in, and it's like you're in with heavier ones that are in there. Because I had somebody tell me that they were in one, and someone told me that the amount of pills that they brought in, they would have sold on the market for $10,000. And you think that's safe for people? See how many people's family members come out and talk about those experiences, and how many family members believe in what they say. Hospitals are one place where there's a lot of including the children. That's where they like to hang out. So if you put a frequency on it, the whole shit's model. I get my knowledge directly from spirit. That's why you see me sitting with it a lot, and like I'm off in space somewhere. Yeah. See, you put people in category in like different categories, C, G, blah, blah. But why don't you have parts? Man, it's common sense. You put them in these categories, but you don't have the ability to place them there, so they're just, it's they're waiting longer. Point system, yeah. A lot of hospitals. I went for it because I felt like I was squashing it and I was having trouble breathing. And I went in and they had me sitting there and I was really like not feeling not well at all. And everybody could see that. And I was sitting there and it was like when I went down to Costco and my body folded over, I probably went up to the collarbone, I broke the collarbone. So a fragment of the bone would have went like it was down here, okay, because it would have done something to my rib too. So a bone fragment. And I was sitting in the hospital and I could feel it. It was like an air pocket with a bubble. And it was bubbling up, it was coming up here and up along here, and then it come up in through here, up through here, and then in and up right into my brain and oh shit. And fuck. It was like and the fucking nurse, she had no damn idea what she was doing. You calm down. You're having an anxiety attack. Calm down. I am calm because I'm doing my breathing. It's like, hey, you don't know what you're doing, lady. You don't tell a person that. You don't say that. You like shit, man. You get and you check them. You take them in. They couldn't that same time. They did uh, the cardiogram 5 times on one monitor and 5 times on another monitor and couldn't get a reading. And that was the same day that but they thought there was nothing wrong. Who taught you? I was like, shit. Just tell them they got an anxiety attack. I'm like, what's up? What would they done if I had just died right there on the spot when they were telling me that I was having an anxiety attack in front of people after I had just explained to them what the sensation that I just experienced? So yeah, in that sense, I do blame it on the person, and I blame it on the teachings, and I blame it on the structure itself. The most important thing to do when dealing with a patient or a client is to hear them, not just listen to them, but actually hear them and ask them questions sometimes. That's why I say hospitals are hospitals, they save some people. Some will say more than not, but they're left going out with scars and maybe something later happens, or they don't get it all. There's been much of that, right? But they don't tell you how you can help yourself. Put on some frequencies. Sit with yourself, look at all your dark spots. Because that's what the cancer builds up from. Because it's stress, anxiety, guilt, shame. Taking regret versus in there, but it's more shame than guilt. See, they keep asking you for money. You sound familiar? Because the church does it too. Fucker. Well, I am a fucker. Kaya sinamasahin mo siya pa na siya tayo. Kuya. Do you notice all of the small hospitals are shutting them down when they should actually be opening, leaving them open and building more smaller hospitals so they don't have to have this big bullshit? And each person would have that profession and then be able to work. But that's common sense. That's what would work for people. How many people have gone in the, like, kind of in the basement of the hospital or the structure or whatever, 6 units? What do you think you're getting the heebie-jeebies from spirit? Yes. Why do you think I just left it there? Can I elaborate? Okay. You're feeling the spirit's energy of what was ever there at that time or previous times before it. So when all that shifts and collides together, and you get that frequency where it's your body starts buzzing, or the hair in your neck starts going up, or your arms are going up. It's a magnetic sensation. Everything is just like standing up. That's your awareness. You're becoming more aware of spirit, and then it's there, or it experiences, or you experience it as you say it. Diretto porque poi chi swing push up. It's like you're the one, and going to the hospital, it's the same thing. People get really cranky when they go into the hospital. You think of how when you go in the hospital and they have somebody with spiritual issues, which you call them psychiatric issues, they come in with that, and they get violent. And then a code comes over, a psychiatric unit. You shouldn't, like, it's that should be separate. Because psychiatric unit, it's more of a spiritual aspect of things. It's different from the physical one. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how to explain it. In the spirit aspect of things, it works on chakras, so it's the energy sensors. And in what your medical terms, it's more on it's a clinical, it's shit, psychosomatic. Your mind is telling you that it's there, and your mind is what's telling you that you can't get rid of it. But the chakra sensors are already balanced and already there. But you have, think of this side of your body. It's the masculine side of the brain and the side of the body. I'm going to say more here. Is this hand, it works, it shows your dominant hand. You see the hand, sometimes it's like, and now you hear the husband. just get if you can obtain a music keyboard, just take it and like that on the keys and just kind of just mess around with it and see if you can get your hands going with the same and going in sequence with each other. And how you do every other one too. Because that works both sides of the brain because it has the music and it also has the word logical, but it's not that it's logical. Spiritual programming. Just like spiritual programming. I was looking in there. This way's reflecting me one way, and that one's reflecting me the other way. So it's like that's what I say. If I'm on these videos, I'm actually talking to myself. That was my explanation for the picture. Yeah. I even told them this stuff at the hospital. Like when I went there the first time, oh shit. They had me there and they were talking to me. And spirit, like the spirit was like getting, and then all of a sudden in the room, it was just like, like I was just like, just that's when I first started really speaking in spirit. Whatever form of spirit I was channeling, the freaking power, holy shit, man. The fucking room, they just looked at one another and it was like, because when it happened, the whole fucking room, and I felt it in my own body, but it was almost like a fury, and that was the first time because it actually happens to people. You feel it, you feel the fury, and then you when you have that release, well, that's what you're actually experiencing. Only you're not realizing it, and it's and others around you aren't really realizing it. It's when you actually take in the spirit itself and you experience it, and what you experience, others end up experiencing. So that's where we. And when a person goes into a hospital as an oh shit, man, they feel worse. It's like they're sluggish, like that. It could be people that sit up straight like this and they're like this. It's because you're also that medium in a hospital and they're coming on to you to help you find their way home. So, yeah, so that's, I know that there's like, I need to teach others how to do it themselves without even having it, without it. It just would be more natural, more flow.
be more relaxed. You'd be teaching others how to be relaxed. But you'd be teaching each other, learning and teaching each other. Every person, because it's very relaxing. Maybe they should have that, making the hospitals more inviting and like plant live plants and what have you, so that it can grow and bring about more oxygen. Because a hospital is so fucking congested with frequencies, people's energies, people like the smells. They say, well, people are allergic to stuff. It's like, I guess you find a way to realize that you have enough information to know what plants you can find area with. It's like it's not about going and cutting that plant because the person has an allergy. Figure out what cause up the allergy, and don't say it's because it's genetic, because you can get rid of allergies and not and you don't have to stick it in your goldenrod. They make goldenrod with for allergies. It's milk. I looked it up, and milkweed is more likely the plant that you're having an allergic reaction to than it would be goldenrod. She's off in space. Yeah, I know. Right over there. Looking at that. Well, I just watching you. Your baby Dexter. Yeah, that's great. Hospital where I think it's still there now. That was, well, I mean, they all look institution. I don't think institution doesn't make you feel too good as like you want to feel good. When you're going to visit someone and you're there for your stay. There's been a lot of PTSD done in hospitals to people. And they keep saying that they don't have enough money, they need donations. Well, then I guess you should be talking with your supplier about the expenses, or somebody should call you. Seriously. Is it hard on the body? No, it's actually healing. Mm, because you're experiencing it. And when you go to the hospital, you're experiencing it because it has no left. It's tethered. The same as things get tethered to objects or people. It's part of those people, their ancestors, not having healed. So it's experiencing it again. I'm over the stuff that was done to me at the hospital or lack thereof checked on. But it's the fact that it's the way that the system has been, because I know it hasn't just happened to me. When you have a nurse telling another nurse or a doctor that we have a woman with her cat nurse with us, because grinding on this part only over grinding there and then digging up the toenail cuticles and nail cuticles and saying we have something with us. And they didn't obtain a twinge or nothing from it. And when I came out of it, I was screaming with the Lord. In a way that benefits the people, not the little people. You want to be wealthy? Wrong with really being wealthy. It's what do you do with the wealth? hear a conversation going. Look, bro, you didn't tell me she could do that. Dice che le foto brigate, pochissimo. Ce l'essere, chissà, non notare lì. Poi, se si right when I did that, my ears just started like the highest, like a really high pitched ring, almost the part that you can't really hear, but you feel it. Che pure chi se la voce sarebbe they're going really old school. It's taking me back to when I was in junior high and we danced. I got in trouble for doing push it doing push it in skirt, but I was very tomboyish. It's a good experience for that, you know. It's like right now I'm feeling like it's like the movement of the way people would dance to music. Yep. E mucho que sí hay. And it feels like yes, I'm conscious. I'm doing it. Sit out there. It should have like a color therapy. The lights they use at hospitals, they make you sick. Seriously, they make you sick. When you're able to feel energy, you know exactly what those lights feel. It's like a color therapy. Because the lights, they send off a frequency. Just like when you get a ringing in your ear, there's some like buzzing sensation or what have you, you're actually experiencing energy through your your lights or your lights. Same as a hospital. There's a lot, and lights are on constantly. If lights are going to be on constantly, then why not have it so that if you have to be in there, you still have the benefits of being out in the sun. And put some plants around and whatnot. They don't have to be on the floor where you're moving people, but you can make a hospital look nice and inviting so it's not so fucking sick. Yeah, I'm just sitting with feeling it. There was one Bible I seen as it was at the hospital. And the psychiatrist went up to the chapel. And they had a big Bible, like, so it was like that, and had beautiful pictures. I just looked at the pictures. Certain spots I would read. Even our chapel. It's not a nice place to be. It's not inviting. And the chapel should be a separate part from the church. Or chapel should be like a separate part from the hospital itself. Like it'd be like another building, but almost like an inside access to it. It's the ones that come, but it should be because it's on the second level of the hospital. It's like when you go into a grocery store, it's the same way. Nothing is where it should be because that would make too much sense, right? The stuff that makes sense to be at the front is milk and eggs because that's what people get most. And I'll give my ex-husband credit for saying that because he says it. I think that's where I heard it. But it does make sense. It does. You know, I could feel it. It's like, what about me? You're the money man. Dice que tú eres como regeneración. It's like right now I feel it in the throat chakra. It's like it's stretching. Yeah, like some, some actually just try or what have you, and have those the collar things, and it's to stretch your necks. It's not something like well, I mean, maybe like I don't know what it would be, what it's like for them if they do it and they do take it off in order to get that stretch. Yeah, I'm just picturing it now. It's almost like I'm seeing our past as the future. They say future. Yeah. It's like the buildings we're seeing now. Is that showing us our future? And that's why they say that we're exploring ourselves. Yeah. Yesterday, Shit. It's like, whoa. You're in like that meditative mode and you just kind of sit with it. And you know about like energy and stuff like that. You know about soul flares. Your teeth actually move easier. It's like you can feel the teeth moving and shifting. You know, so I like to see. It's good because it's cracking. Doctors tell you don't put them. The chiropractor is cracking for you for me, right? Oh crap! What does it feel like? Right? Feels good too. And it opens up the center, like your back. When you do it, you can feel your back open up. It's like air going up through, and energy going up through, and the blood flows up through with water. Perché? Che si è buttata su Screto. Shift away. Queríamos papaya, so no me quisierai. Usto koya shiraka. It's just like all of a sudden, I was like, fuck you then. I just like a tickling going out the throat. Like, whoa. Kore, これが守りしていただい。人のことそれあれよ、それよ。あれ、ことぶりしてから、だいすね。Coincide. Once you go there. Yep. Welcome to the entertainment show. Siapa Yeah, people say, well, like, where are you in the weirdos? Who says I'm not? Everything isn't as it seems, I say. Just to create new terrain. You the create to Yeah, it's like that. It's so best. It's like, sort your shit out, will you? Get the collection of the grass. Create. Yeah, it's like the two sides wording it out and making me look spastic. Oh, you tell Emily. Right, mhm, mhm, right. Me parece, just sitting with it. It's fun, yeah, it's fun to sit with. It's, oh my dang, like, yeah, it's the way that, like, my hands look. I know. Yeah. Sounds great. Yeah, she looks like she's stoned, I heard that. See it, but it could be just right. Esta de octubre te famoso de la Turquía, Siyami, and Maya Sajo, Quieres tu bolero, Simón. I sit with myself for spirit. But even when I'm sitting with other people, I'm still sitting with spirit. Yeah, eso. My nose is, my hair is it's like strawberry. Yeah, I just sometimes I just sit here and talk with spirit and bring things forward. It's like anything I say, look into it. So but I see that most people see the same thing, just a lot more afraid to speak about it. Yeah, treat everything else. See something from a different perspective. No, I'm gonna leave there for the night. It's, 7:44. And the other night it was like 3 hours. Sometimes I talk too much. Sometimes I just don't talk at all. Except I'm always talking to spirit, whether I'm talking externally or internally. So, sì, assolutamente pure io. It's like that headphone. Yeah. So I'll leave it there at that, and I'll do a couple cards. Chiarato per Shreyas. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. And then it's and miles to go before I sleep. It's like considering three before should I get it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. or watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Just so like a huge goal. With that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, and many blessings, most importantly, very, very health to anyone and everyone to be receiving acceptance. Be big, bold, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self, be true to yourself, be kind to yourself, be true, kind to others. You know, well, you have more strength than you can comprehend, but it's also more courage and more ability to do it. Send you all love. Oh, yeah, have a great weekend. Great weekend.